Well, from a weapon of war point of view, there's no question about it. The development of the Spitfire was miraculous. It was miraculous for many reasons. Mitchell was a remarkable designer, a genius in fact. But what is even more remarkable is the team that he gathered together that were able to continue with the fantastic work that he had already done with the Spitfire. And I know 9 out of 10 people say, well, of course, when you got to the Mark 21s and the Seafire 45, 46s, it was no longer a Spitfire. Well, that to a degree is true, but then what you have to bear in mind, we were fighting for our very existence, and what we were producing, or at least what Supermarines were designing and producing, was a weapon of war that would meet every contingency placed upon it.
Well, it has, the shape in itself has a certain charisma to it, I think, that no other World War II airplane has. And the fact of the matter is that the handling is purely delightful, particularly at low and medium speeds. At very high speeds, the ailerons are maybe a little bit heavy. But over and above that, it's a very difficult airplane or fighter to fault.
The turn performance is extraordinary, and part of the reason it's extraordinary is because of the docility. What I mean by that is you can refit hard into a turn and sustain that turn without any worries about flicking the aircraft, dropping a wing, all the problems that some of these other World War II airplanes have close to the stall. Spitfire talks to you. It judders and buffets and shakes in a steadily increasing way until the shaking is so extreme that you'd have to be crass to depart the aircraft, lose control of the aircraft.
Beautiful airplane. You notice how small the cockpit, and you get in there and these lads leaned over and pulled the door up, and you in there? Yes, I'm in, let's go. And you felt like you were part of the airplane. You're part of the airplane. Very agile, and the big thing is that you get in a predicament where you had to get out. You're scaring him and he's scaring you. Get away if you can. And this way it would take you home. It'd take you home.
And we were sent out to meet a raid coming in over the Channel. I think there were about 100 and something planes that move around the Germans in huge numbers in those days. We met this large raid coming in over the Channel, and the CO said tally ho, and said select your own and go down, good luck. So we turned down into, I went for somebody at the back of the German flight, I think, and got in behind him, and probably not as close as I ought to have been, but I remember after firing at him, he turned over on his back, and I thought, goodness me, this is fighting. This is fantastic. I really have a most amazing experience of the Merlin engine, because I'm not exaggerating. I did 900 and something hours on Spitfires during the 1940 to 45 era, and I don't think, except for one place in my logbook where I recorded a rather rough engine, I don't think I had any trouble from a Merlin engine at all. It was absolutely astounding.
Yeah, what's it like to display the Spitfire? Well, it's a fantastic airplane to display. It's very, very safe. It's ever so easy to fly, but don't tell everybody that if they want their money back. But it's a bit of a tricky to take off and a bit more tricky to land, particularly in a sort of gusty wind. But it is absolutely fantastic. sort of manoeuvres do we fly during the display? Yes, we normally fly just simple coordinated loops, rolls, nothing too strenuous, nothing that's sort of aerobatic, going to win an aerobatic competition, that's for sure, because we're trying to make it smooth, trying to preserve the energy in the aeroplane, trying to preserve the aeroplanes, because it's not the G you pull, it's the way that you pull it, nice and smooth, no hard corners, and just the aeroplane demands to be flown that way anyway.